Hi, I'm Scott Davis. Welcome to New World Birth. By accessing this presentation, you're inviting me to share this information regarding our passage through this challenging and very hopeful time. This is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of August 23rd, 2012 for One Sun in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. We'll also be talking about the blue moon in Pisces, Mars moving into Scorpio, Mercury moving into Virgo. And towards the end of the report, I'm going to discuss my an update on my cosmic chicken experiment that I discussed in the One Jaguar report from July 28th. Anyway, August 23rd, 2012 is One Ahau or Sun, which carries the themes of honoring ancestors, flowers, light, ascension, co-creation, unconditional love, enlightenment, opening up to new possibilities and beginnings, wholeness, and the awakening to miracles. I love that flowers is one of the symbols of Ahau because the name Patanjali, who was the author of the Yoga Sutras, means one who casts flowers through time, which is a quality of Ahau in that the ancestors cast their wisdom through time. How is considered to be one of the most sacred of days, and because life would not exist on the earth without the warmth and the light of the sun. Being both a wave and a particle, light transcends form. This 13-day period is about shining the light on any uncertainty, honoring our ancestors, and taking time to purify our light and heal our spirits and Mother Earth. Astrologically, the One Sun Tzolkin begins with the three outer planets being retrograde, while all the other planets appear to be moving forward in motion. And I created this diagram to demonstrate how the planets appear to move in reverse. It's not drawn to scale, and it uses the tropical system. The circles represent the planet's orbits around the sun, and the lines that originate out from the Earth are there to represent the astrological divisions of the signs as observed from the Earth. And as the Earth moves in its orbit in a counterclockwise motion, and in the diagram here, and the sun appears to move through the astrological signs in order. So if you could imagine that this is the Earth and this is the line of sight from the Earth, and we look at it from this perspective, right now, if looking from the Earth, we can see that the line of sight would be the sun in Virgo, but as it starts to move in its orbit, we can see that the line of sight moves the sun through the astrological signs in order. During the time period when the planet is said to be in direct motion, it appears to move counterclockwise relative to the astrological signs in this diagram. The inner planets, Mercury and Venus, these planets both appear to be retrograde when they've come on the inside of their orbit, when they're in between the Earth and the Sun. So, right now Venus just turned direct and it's going to move counterclockwise. But then once it comes around into the inner part here, it would appear as if it's moving clockwise from the perspective of the Earth. Same thing with Mercury. The planets outside the Earth's orbit, being Mars and Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, these planets appear to move in reverse as the Earth passes them on its inner track. And if we take a tangent line to the orbit of the Earth, what we can see is that as the tangent line moves around the orbit of the Earth, that the leading edge of it, when it crosses the planet, that planet turns retrograde, whereas the following edge, when it crosses a planet, that's when that planet appears to slow down in its retrograde cycle and begin to turn direct. So when we look at that from the current tangent, we can see that Jupiter will be the next planet to turn retrograde, and Pluto is going to be the next planet that turns direct. We also have a full moon that's coming up on August 31st, and it's the second full moon of the month, which makes it the blue moon, like, what's that saying, once in a blue moon. And that's really just to say what a unique moon it is. It actually, what happens with the blue moon is it shifts the month's lunar energy. We've had 18 months of having the full moon being followed by the new moon in a month. And now, starting in September, we're going to have the new moon coming before the full moon. So that really kind of changes the energy, the lunar energy of the month when we hit these transit points of having a blue moon in a month. So here's the details of the daily energy for this trecena. August 23rd is One Sun, which is about unity being experienced through honoring the wisdom and the memory of our ancestors, as Mars has just moved into Scorpio. Okay, and then which that brings a certain purpose and intensity, and it's also enhances imagination and a strong creative drive, and it's going to be there until this second week of October when it moves into Sagittarius. On this day of the 23rd, we also have the Scorpio moon, and it's being challenged by Mercury and supported by Venus, and this brings emotional energy that can have critical communications, but there's also pleasant feelings for the people that are in your environment. On the 24th, it's two crocodile. This is about duality being experienced through nurturing new beginnings. And the Virgo sun is being opposed by Neptune. So they're across from each other from the perspective of the Earth, and Neptune's in Pisces, which can bring some kind of confusion and uncertainty for a day or so, but also the potential for some spiritual experiences through activities that move our energies, going out and being in nature, hiking, yoga, tai chi, walking, meditations. Things that really get the energy moving in a spiritual dimension. And on that day, we have the Sagittarius moon in its squaring the Sun and Neptune opposition. So the day's emotional energy begins with tension and challenges in our daily lives, and a desire to just kind of sink back into our fantasies and daydreams. But then later, Luna is supported by Uranus, which shifts and has us craving emotional excitement and making unexpected changes to our plans. And then August 25th is 3 Wind, which is about taking action through our communications, as the moon in Sagittarius is opposed by Jupiter and supported by Mercury. The day begins with generous feelings towards others, and then later brings the ability to clearly express our emotions. The 26th is 4 Night. This is about finding stability through contemplating the stars. And then we have Mars is finding support from Neptune, which brings more balance to our aggression through an increase in compassion. While the moon is harmonizing with Saturn and Neptune and Mars and gains support from the sun, merges with Pluto and is challenged by Uranus, the day's emotional energy begins with wanting to be alone in our thoughts, and then moves to a sensitivity to others' moods and wanting to work independently, and then later becomes feelings of being in harmony with ourselves, and finally brings up our deepest parts of our psyche and the desire to be rebellious. And then August 25th is 5 Seed. And that's about being empowered through making new connections and planting seeds, as the Capricorn moon is opposed by Venus, which is very pleasant, but also brings a caution about overindulgence. The 28th is Sixth Serpent, which is about being in the flow through being flexible as Mercury harmonizes with Ceres, which brings a thought about what sustains us. And then with the moon being challenged by Saturn and Mars, the day begins with sort of feeling lonely and out of touch with others, and later brings needless disputes, irritability, and rash actions. August 29th is 7, transformation, reflection through letting go of the past, as the sun finds support from Pluto, which is empowering and brings out sort of brings our sense of depth. And then while Mercury is harmonizing with Saturn, which brings more focus on our communications, as the Aquarius moon harmonizes with Uranus, is supported by Jupiter, brings a day that starts with pleasant yet restless feelings and later has a nice sense of well-being and warmth for others. The 30th is 8 Deer, which is about balance experience through serving others, with the sun opposed by Chiron, the wounded healer, which illuminates some of our deeper, older wounds so they can be examined and released. While the moon is supported by Saturn, opposed by Mercury, and merges with Neptune, the day's emotional energies shift from sober feelings and a realistic view of life to feeling a conflict between logic and emotions, and finally a greater sensitivity to our surroundings. And then August 31st, this is 9 star, is patience experienced through being grateful for abundant relationships, with the full moon in Pisces merging with Chiron and Neptune and finding support from Mars, harmonizing with Pluto, opposed by the sun, challenged by Jupiter. Full moons can be really challenging times, and this one seems to have some interesting themes. You know, Chiron brings forward the wound, and then with the moon and Neptune, you got all three of these merged in Pisces. Some may feel like victims, but they'll be really unsure why. And then you've got like the Virgo sun, which opposite is kind of like critical and suggesting that, you know, maybe you just need to go pick yourself up by the bootstraps, which leads to Pisces feeling like it's not being recognized for its pain, and you know, this can even bring up feelings of being even more oppressed. But that day we also have Mars and Jupiter and Pluto all involved with this full moon. So we've got energy and expansion and transformational energy all in this. So there's really, it's up to us to find the positive through service with compassion. As Mercury, right here, moves into Virgo. So it moves across that line into Virgo, which has us seeing this past month's events in a totally new light. And for the first half of September, there's going to be more of a focus on analytical thinking and organized communications. September 1st, a brand new month, and now at this point we're at 10 offering, which is manifestation through appreciating creation. As Mercury is opposed by Neptune over here. See, by now it's there, so it lines up. And Mercury is opposed by Neptune, which brings forward information to assist us in our spiritual journey, as the Pisces moon is supported by Venus, which can be more interested in having a good time than getting any work accomplished. So, you know, keep that in mind. And then we have September 2nd. This is 11 Dog, which is resolution through enjoying family and friends. With the Aries moon is challenged by Pluto, and it merges with Uranus. This brings like compulsive behavior and sudden urges to do things that could be detrimental in the long run, along with the desire to feel impulsive and act rashly. The third is 12 Monkey, which is understanding through creating something new, with Venus being challenged by Saturn, and which can bring difficulties in relating to others. And we also have Mars is here, and it's harmonizing with Pluto on that day, which can bring the energy to implement changes that bring us to realize important life goals, while the Aries moon is stimulated by Jupiter, which enjoys congenial interactions with the people that we have strong emotional ties to. And then on September 4th, we have 13 Road. This is movement to the next stage through being a service to others, as Mercury finds support from Pluto, which brings an interest in what's going on beneath the scenes, beneath the events, and a desire to explore life's mysteries. While the moon is being opposed by Saturn, challenged by Venus, and harmonizing with Neptune, the day begins with feelings of loneliness and isolation, and later brings an interest in getting to know others, and finally you have empathy and possible psychic impressions. This being the One Sun Trecena, and it's the One Sun is really about opening up to new possibilities and awakening to miracles. I thought I'd provide an update on the cosmic chicken experiment that I discussed in the One Jaguar report back in July 28th. And cosmic chicken is basically, it's rooted in the belief that we are on a path that evolves by following our passion. I first learned about being supported by unseen forces through my study of mythology, and particularly through the teachings of Joseph Campbell, which gave me the idea to take a leap of faith, to do only activities that feed my spirit, and then wait to see if the universe would support me financially. And in doing this, I'm using astrology, human design, the Mayan Tzolkin day signs, and numerology as it relates to the tarot to kind of guide me as to what paths might be most in line with my karmic destiny. And so for a few years now, in making these videos and providing readings and teaching classes and workshops and playing music, I've been able to really meet my needs. At least until the last Mercury retrograde cycle, when I was really unsure of how I would pay my mortgage. And so in navigating this, I use my human design strategy and authority to make these decisions for myself. And I'm a 5-1 profile emotional projector. And my chart is available on the New World Birth Facebook page, so if you want to look at that to reference it. But just to give you some information here, as an emotional projector, I need to be invited to do anything and then really take my time before making a decision, yes or no, to the invitations. And then the 5-1 profile, that means that I'm a heretical investigator. So before my mortgage was due, I started investigating all the assets that I could think of, and found that I had some money in a retirement account from some of my previous employers before I began this experiment. And the accountant invited me to withdraw the funds that I needed to keep my mortgage current. There was not that much available, but it was really like finding a first aid kit when you needed a bandage. But then, after the crisis subsided, I looked in the first aid kit and realized there really wasn't many bandages left. So I guess when I mentioned Cosmic Chicken sort of being like my own reality show in the One Jaguar report, I really had no idea that the universe was going to throw me a lifesaver, but there it was. So also in moving through this field of my Cosmic Chicken game, I watched the astrological transits to see how they relate to my birth and progress charts, and so I'm aware of the energies affecting me and what are the current challenges and opportunities at any given time. And I think I'm probably the only person using human design to look at the person, and astrology to look at the environment that person is navigating. Overall, most readers are either pure astrology or pure human design and would not combine these two systems as I have. But I think it really gives us a clearer picture than either of the systems singularly. So in my Cosmic Chicken experiment, it's really been about making an educated, leap of faith into one's passion, and I'm using myself as a guinea pig. If I'm successful in this experiment, then I'm really going to have something significant to offer humanity in discovering a formula for living our heart's true passion and fulfilling our destinies in this incarnation. So anyway, more is going to be revealed, so stay tuned for future updates. So whether you're pursuing your passion or hiding from your fear during this One Sun Tzolkin, take some time out to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature and watching a sunrise or sunset, communing with the stars, being cautious of the moment through introspection, meditation, being with somebody you love. Every single day we have is a blessing, no matter what dramas beckon to distract us. We're all here giving the performance of our lifetime on this world stage, so take some time out to observe the play as well as act your part in it. Remember, we are all spiritual beings having human experiences. Anyway, thank you for checking out New World Birth. The next segment of Care and Feeding of a New World Age will be on September 5th for one read, and I'll also discuss Venus moving into Leo, the Virgo new moon, Mercury moving into Libra. You can check us out on Facebook or YouTube or the Mayan Magics website. And as always, I invite you to email me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or wish to schedule a reading. I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks. So I've created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. These readings are designed to provide information to help you navigate these difficult times ahead. At the basic level, I'm going to look at your human design chart to help you understand how to use your own individual strategy and authority in making life decisions based on your own unique design, like I showed up in the cosmic chicken example. I'll include 3 months of astrological transits based on your natal and progressed astrology chart, along with the human design reading at the middle level. And then at the top level, the human design and the astrological transit reading will be recorded and then sent to you on an MP3 that you can download to your computer. So if you're thinking about getting a reading, please contact me, because I'd really love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be either able to call me in the state of Maine in the USA, or we can connect on Skype for a lot of the international readings. Some people can't afford the call, and the internet, Skype doesn't really work with there, but they can download files. So I've also been at the highest level of compensation, recording the reading, sending them to them as an MP3 file that they download, and then they ask me questions over the email in order to get the reading in some of those locations that may not be able to access Skype or afford the call to the U.S. As always, I am blessed that you have taken the time out to connect with my passion for all of these ancient mysteries and their application in our journey through this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste and Lakesh. Thank you.